Hello, now we are back to QGIS. So far we have created two CSV files from R after rerunning the Huff model. Now we are going to bring these two data tables into QGIS to join the data table with the demand points so that we can make maps from those new data variable that we just created. Now let's first bring in these CSV files. So let's go to layer, add layer. You add a delimited text layer to the CSV file. So let's go to collect them. Let's go to find okay, this supply market share value 1, 2. Bring it in to make sure that on the file format, a CSV file is chosen. Under geometry definition, no geometry is chosen. Then you click add. Okay, now let's go back again to choose the second table, supply market share value 1, 3. Open and add and close. So you can see that the two CSV file table is here. Now we're going to join them to the demand point file. Let's first make a copy of demand points. Make a copy of demand points. So select the demand points and duplicate. So now let's first work on the copy. Okay, work on the copy. Okay, demand point copy. Let's change the demand point copy. Change the name to demand points from demand points copy into demand points 1, 2. Okay, because we want to join the supply market share value 1, 2 to the demand point 1, 2. Okay, so now let's click demand point 1, 2, right click, go to properties, and then you click this joins here. Then at the lower left bottom, you see that there's a green plus sign. Click that. Then you on here on this add vector join, you choose market supply market share value 1, 2. And within this file, what the variable you are going to use as the key to join the file to the demand points. So we choose code. Okay, at the bottom, code. Okay, then for the demand points, which field we use as the key to join. Again, you click the target field, we choose code. Okay, then you choose which field, which variable you actually want to join from the supply point to the demand point. Now you click join field. You choose variable V22 and 23. Variable 22 is actually the new supply point 101, and the variable V23 is actually the new supply point 102. Now finally, there's one button here. You click that custom field name prefix. Let's just get rid of this prefix. Okay, let's get rid of the prefix. Now we say OK, and OK again. Now you take a look at the demand point 1, 2 attribute table. At the end, you should see the two new variables, V22 and V23, which actually a new supply point 101 and 102. Okay, let's close this. Let's go to map these 2 points. First, let's make a copy of this. Let's make a copy of now let's just go to properties. Go to properties, symbology. At the very top, now it shows the single symbol. Click on that. You switch to graduated. Okay. Then it asks you which column you want to map. For column, you go to choose V22. You choose the point 101. Okay. And let's and also add method. Right now it's the color. Let's go to choose size. Okay. After that, you can see that you can alter the minimum size from 1 through other to other values, or the maximum size now is A. Let's take this default value. Now, as a mode, let's choose quantile equicount, equal count quantile. Okay. So now we have this the different 4 or 5 categories. Now we just say okay. So now you can see the map. So this map shows that for the new supply location 101, from the supply point 12, this is the distribution. In the same way, we're going to map. So let's first rename this before we get confused. Let's rename this map as demand point 121. So demand point 12, the 12 part means that these values are generated from the Huff model using the supply point 12. Between 12, we first map out the 1. We're going to go ahead map out the 2 as well. Now let's duplicate. Let's select the demand point 121, right click, duplicate. Now let's go to the copy. Go to the copy. Let's switch off the demand point 121 and turn on the copy of demand point 121 copy. Now let's right click, properties, symbologies. Now only things that we need to change is column. We want to switch to column V23. And again, we click classify. You can see the value will change because 2 variable compound has different values. Now we want to see the color. Let's go to see to the different color. Go to symbol, and change. Let's choose it, and of color we choose a different color. Let's choose the orange color. Choose orange color. Okay. And make it a more bright color. Okay, this color. And okay, okay, and okay. So now we can see this is a variable 23. Variable 23 actually is the new supply location 102. So now let's change the name of this file to rename layer as demand point 122. Okay, demand point 122. So now we have 2 maps. One map which shows that we generate the supply market share value 12, and within this file there were 2 new variables. One is the market value share for 101. Another variable is the market share value for 102. Now we map out both variables. One variable is this. This file name is called demand point 121, and second one is demand point 122. So now we're going to do the same thing to join the market share value 13 to demand points. Okay. Now let's go back to let's uncheck this demand point 121 and 122. Let's turn on demand points again. For demand points, let's first duplicate. Okay, duplicate. Okay, and we go to the copy. Go to the copy. In the copy, let's go to right click and properties, and we join. Okay, you see it, click the join, and again we click this green plus button. Now we want to choose supply market share value 13, and what field we use as a key to join a code. Then for target field is demand point copy. So we're going to use code again. Okay, use code. at the key to join. Then we're going to click this button that say join the field. So we move down. We're going to join field V22 and V23. Remember, V22 actually is the new supply point 101. Now this time the V23 is actually the new supply point 103 because we are now drawing a supply market share value 13 to the demand point. So the first new variable is 101, the second new variable is 103. Okay, again, finally at the constant field name prefix, let's get rid of the supply market share value 13 and say OK and OK. So now we can see that this is a supply point copy. Let's rename supply point copy. Rename this layer as supply point copy 1, 3 because we just joined the supply point market share 1, 3 to the demand point, and that is the map we get. Now let's go into the map, the two new variables. Okay. Now let's right click demand point 1, 3, go properties, and go to symbology. Again, we change single symbols to graduated. Now we map the column V22, which actually is from demand point 1, 3 and 1. So this is a new supply location 101 from the supply point 1, 3. And again, we choose a method. We use size, and we use quantel equal count. Okay, and let's change the color. Change the color to a what color? Let's change to a what is the greenish color. Okay, change the green color. Okay, better this green color. Oh, here. Okay, and OK, and OK, and OK. So now we have this map. Now let's since we just map this variable 22, which actually is the new supply location 101. Let's go to change the name of this field, of this file. We'll call it demand point 131. Okay, demand point 131. Okay, so now we also want to map the new supply point 103. So let's first duplicate demand points 131. So right click, duplicate layer, and now we work with the copy. This is the demand points 131 copy. Let's right click it, go to property, symbology, and now let's map column V23. Okay, V23. Not change the color. Change the color from green, change it to some bluish color. Okay, here looks good. Okay, okay. And let's also reclassify this. Okay, it's because it has new values. Okay, so now let's say OK again. Okay, so now we can see that this is a variable 23 from demand points 13. Now let's rename it as demand points 133 because these three refer to the variable 103. Okay, so now we have four maps. And let me see what four maps we have. First map we call it demand point 121. And second map is demand point 122. These are the two new supply locations from the supply point 12. And the other two maps is demand points 131 and also demand point 133. And these are the these are two new variables from supply point 1, 3. Okay, so what we want to do is compare between 131 and 133 and 121 and 122, which is more profitable to the entire company, because we use we try to make a comparison between 1.2 and 1.3, which is more profitable, and that's why let's first map out these four variables, so we can put together 131 and 133 to compare with 121 and 122. I hope you still with me. Okay, so now we map out these four variables. Now let's do this. Okay, let's go to supply points. Go to this supply point 1, 2. Supply point 1, 2. So let's bring up this raster map, so we can make sure that we select correct the point for the desert, for supply desert. Okay. So on this map, you can really see that there are 2 points here. Sure, that supply point 1, 2. Supply point. Okay, so let's choose the supply point 1, 2. Okay, so we have two desert point on this. One desert point is this, is 101, and this is 102. Okay. Now let's do this. Let's make sure that this supply point 1, 2 is active. Okay. Then we're gonna make this go to select toggle editing to make this layer active. Now let's also go to choose select features. Let's first select the new supply point 101. Click it, it becomes active. Now let's go to layer, save as. We're going to save that as a shapefile. And the shapefile, let's call it set1. Set1. Okay. And okay, then before you do anything else, you choose save only selected features. Okay, you save only selected features, and okay. So now we have a new point file called set1. Then so you can turn off all other layers. You can see this is a single layer. This is a single layer. Okay, and do the same thing. Now you bring back supply point 2, and bring back this raster file tool, so that you can see which one is supply point 102. Okay. So you make the supply point 1, 2 to be active, and select features, and you go to click the supply point 102. It become active, it turn yellow. Then you go to layer, save as, go to choose your directory, save that as site2. Choose that as site2. Okay. Shapefile. Again, before you click anything else, you click save only selected features. Okay. And okay. So now let's turn off all other site. You see, this site 2 is right here. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing to create another single point shapefile that only featured site 3. Let's uncheck, turn off site 1, site 2. Let's go turn on supply point 1, 3. And supply point 1, 3, obviously this point is a supply point 103. So now let's make supply point 1, 3 is active, and make it active, click toggle editing. Now you're going to select point 3, 103. Now this point is become active. Then go to layer, save as, and save that at set 3. Okay, at set 3. Okay. Set 3. And say save, and before you click OK, you choose save only selected features, and OK. So now we have 3 single point shapefile, 3 single point shapefile, set 1, set 2, and set 3. You can really see that set 1, set 2, and set 3. There are 3 points. And now let's go to set 1. Let's give them different symbol so that they can see very clearly. Go to set 1, right click, property, symbology. Let's choose this, you see the diamond shaped red shape, choose this. It's diamond shape. Okay. Let's say OK. That's how set 1 showed up. Okay. And do the same thing for set 2. Go to set 2, right click, and properties, symbology. Here we choose this red symbol, red diamond shape. Okay, then OK, and do the same thing for set 3. Okay. Properties, and symbologies, and choose this diamond red. Okay, here. So now we have the 3 single points. So now if you for example, you turn off set 1, set 2, set 3. You only turn on set 1, and you go to the map. It says demand point 121. This is what it looks like. Okay. Now let's just work on just set 1. So let's right click, select set 1. Now you're going to see QGIS on the top, QGIS. Okay, you go to click it, and you see go to create, and go to create buffers. Select that. Okay, QGIS, create, and create buffers. Okay, now so input layer name is site 1, and we choose radius unit.
Just a sec.
Oh, sorry, it's my phone. Okay, this is my.
Sorry, I couldn't.
My phone begin to communicate with me. So now let's in the radius let's choose meters, because we have UTM projection. The unit are meters. In fixed radius, let's choose 4,000 meters. That's 4 kilometers. Okay. Then in fixed number of edges, we'll choose 64. This refers to how you want to choose a square shape or phi size or hexagonal shape. Now we want to be circle with a radius 4,000 meter surrounding site 1. Okay, so that is what we want, and we apply. Okay, let's take a look. After you do that, you can see that there's a purple circle. It's called the temp 1. Let's label that. Let's label that and rename this layer. We call that buffer 1 4,000, because it's for the buffer zone around site 1 in terms of 4,000 meters. So we create this. Okay. So that is one. Done. Let's go again. Turn off this buffer zone so we can see it's set one clearly. We can also turn off. Demand point. Okay. So we only see this first buffer here. Okay. Set two. Set one. Again, click set one again. Right click. Make sure it select. Okay. Let's go to MMQGIS. Okay. And go to MMQGIS. Create buffers. Make sure the set one is selected and input layer name. And everything else is the same except now we change radius into 8,000. Okay, meters, and apply. Okay, now you have a message saying that because last time when you create the first buffer, the QGIS create a temporary file. It's temp1. Okay, so now you want to change this name into here at output file name. You change that at temp2, so that it won't duplicate the temporary file name from the last one. Okay, so now you say apply. Okay, so now you can see that you have another one, a bigger kind of a buffer zone. Now let's name it buffer 1 8,000, because this is the buffer zone that surrounds site 1 with a radius 8,000 meters. Okay, so we're going to do two more, and it's 16,000 and 24,000. Okay, go to MMQGIS, create buffers, and site 1, and change the radius into 16,000. And now change the temp file name to temp3, so that they won't duplicate with the early two temp file name. Apply. Okay, and you can really see. Let's do one more before we leave here. Let's change everything else the same. We only change this radius into 24,000 and change this output file name at temp4, and so apply. Okay, so now we close it off. You can see that we'll have a 4 buffer zone file. Now let's change the name. For temp3, we know it's should be, we change it to buffer 1 with the number 16,000, and temp4 we change the name to buffer 1 and 24,000. Okay, so now you can see that let's turn on this 4 layers. Okay, so if you have turn on the 4 layers, and each one of them, we'll move this, move the side above it, move the side on the top, and move the largest to the bottom. So now you can see that for the side 1, you have 4. Okay, we need we should have 4 buffer zones. Okay, this is okay. Buffer zone 4,000 doesn't seem to be there. Where's the 4 buffer zone 4,000? Okay, let's recreate that buffer zone 4,000. I don't see that. Okay, let's remove the layer. Let's recreate that. Again, let's highlight the go to MMQGIS, create buffers. Now let's 4,000. Let's call this temp file temp5. Okay, and close. So now let's label this, rename this temp file. Rename it as buffer 1 4,000. Okay. Okay, now let's put them together, label them together. Now you should see you turn on all 4 layers. So you should see that in the middle is side 1, and surrounding side 1, you should see 4 buffer zones. Okay, and we can do the same thing. And also, you can turn this buffer zone to be transparent. So let's go to do the first buffer, do the buffer zone 4000. Right click buffer zone 4000. Go to properties, and go to properties. On here, you can see the fill on the field, the simple fill. You double click, you click that. Now you go to fill. Okay, no. You go to fill style. Go to fill style. You choose no brush. Okay, so that is that I do not want to fill any color into it. And I see what happened. And this layer become transparent. Because this layer become transparently. You can do the same for other layer. For other layer, you can go to buffer 1 8000 properties, and you click the simple fill. Then so you can work on the fill style. For fill style, you click it, choose no brush, and do the same thing for buffer 1 16,000 properties, symbology, simple fill, click it, and click solid, and then you choose to no brush. Okay, finally you choose the last one, buffer 124, and you choose that. Okay, simple fill and fill style and no brush. So now we have this. So we have this side 1, surrounding side 1. We have these 4 buffer zones. Now we're going to do the same thing to side 2 and side 3. Okay, let's turn off this side 1 and the buffer zone. We choose side 2. Side 2, go to QGIS, create, and now we choose side 2 and input the layer name. Now I'm going to change the temp file name to temp file 6. Okay, and apply. So before we finish, let's go to change the radius to 8000. Change the temp file name to 7. Apply, and change the fixed radius into 16,000. Change temp file name to 8, and apply. And finally, change the fixed radius name to 24,000. Okay. And choose temp file name to 9. Okay, and apply. Okay, so we turn it off. So now let's label these 4 layers of buffer zone. So times 6, that should be buffer 2 4000. So that is the buffer zone that is centered on side 2 with 4000 meters, and the next buffer zone is, in my file, is temp 7. We change the name to buffer 2 8000, and then change the next layer to buffer 2 16,000, and then next one is buffer 2 24. Okay, and again we can go into just change them all to be transparent.